The boat is moving. You can hear the water against the hull and the engine, and the sound of 60 men breathing in a metal box. And none of it prepares you for what is waiting on the other side of those doors. You know what is waiting. You have known since the briefing 2 days ago, when the officer spread the map across the table and pointed to a stretch of beach and said, "This is where you are going." And nobody in that room said anything, because there was nothing to say. The English Channel in June is the color of old pewter. You found that out this morning when the ramp was still up and you could see over the side. Now you cannot see anything. You are standing in the dark with 59 other men and the smell of salt water and engine oil and the particular cold sweat of people who are afraid but are not allowed to say so. The man to your left is 19 years old. You know this because he told you last night over a cigarette he bummed from someone else, because he had smoked his own pack in the first 2 days on the ship. He is from a small town in Ohio you have never heard of, and he has a photograph of a girl in his chest pocket, and last night he took it out and looked at it for a long time without saying anything, and then put it back and didn't mention it again. His name is Eddie. He is standing close enough that your shoulders are touching, and you are both pretending not to notice. The boat hits something and lurches, and several men grab the sides, and nobody speaks. You think about the briefing again, the officer's voice, calm and precise, the way voices get when the person speaking has made peace with what they are sending you into. He talked about the seawall, and the gun nests, and the wire on the beach, and the importance of moving fast. Always moving fast. Stopping is dying. Moving is the only option. And you listened, and you nodded, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a very quiet part of you was still back home, still sitting at the kitchen table on a Tuesday morning, still in a life that had not yet become this. That part of you is still there. You can feel it, sitting in your chest like something that hasn't been told yet. The engine's slow. That is when it becomes real. Not the briefing, not the weeks of training, not the letters from home that kept getting shorter and more careful, as if everyone back there was already preparing for something they couldn't name. The moment the engine's slow and the boat tilts forward, and the ramp at the front makes a sound like it is winding up to open, that is the moment your body understands what your mind has been refusing to hold. Eddie says something. You don't catch it over the noise. You look at him and he is staring straight ahead at the doors, and his jaw is set, and his hands are gripping his rifle, and he looks older than 19. Fear does that. It ages a person in the space of a single breath. You look down at your own hands. They are steady. You don't know how they are steady. Everything inside you is moving, but your hands are perfectly still, and you stare at them like they belong to someone else. The ramp drops. Light floods in and sound comes with it, and the sound is everything at once. Water and metal and the air itself tearing apart above the beach. It is nothing like you imagined, and exactly like you imagined. Men are going, and you are going with them, because going is the only direction that exists now. The water is between you and the beach, and you step off the ramp, and the cold hits you like a wall. Waist deep, chest deep. The weight of everything you are carrying drags at you, and the current pulls sideways, and you lean into it and push forward. A man 2 feet to your right goes under. You see it happen. You see the exact moment the water takes him, and you keep moving because there is no other thing to do. There is no version of this where you stop. The beach is ahead, and the beach is the only fact in the world right now. Your boots find sand. You don't know how long it took. The minutes between the ramp dropping and solid ground under your feet are just gone. Not blurred, gone. Taken somewhere you cannot reach. You are on the beach, and the sand is wet and dark and heavy, and there is a seawall ahead, and men around you, and the air above you is doing things air should not be able to do. You run. Your legs are wrong. They are working, but they feel disconnected, like something you are operating from a distance. The sand pulls at every step. The seawall is 30 yards ahead. 20. Men are already behind it. You can see them pressed against the stone, and you are almost there, and then you are there. Your back against the wall, your shoulders heaving, your mouth full of salt. Eddie is next to you. You look at him. His face is completely white, and there is a cut above his eyebrow that he hasn't noticed, and he is breathing like a man who has just remembered how to breathe. He looks at you. Neither of you says anything. There is nothing to say that the looking doesn't already cover. You do a count in your head of the men from your boat. You get to 31, and you stop counting. The noise above the wall is continuous and total. It has texture. It has layers you can feel in your chest and your teeth and the back of your skull. You press yourself against the stone, and you think about the briefing, and the officer's calm voice, and the map on the table, and how clean everything looked on paper. A line, a beach, a seawall, distances measured in yards. None of it contained this. There is no measurement for this. A man 3 places down from you is saying something under his breath. You can see his lips moving, but you cannot hear the words. You think he might be praying. You think about doing the same, and then you don't, because you cannot find the beginning of it. You cannot find the words, or the direction, or the particular kind of faith it takes to speak to something invisible while the world above you is doing what the world above you is currently doing. You check your rifle. You look at the man to your left, and he nods. You look at Eddie, and he is looking straight ahead at nothing, his jaw still set, the cut above his eyebrow beginning to run now, a thin, dark line down the side of his face that he still hasn't noticed or doesn't care about. You think about the photograph in his chest pocket, the girl from Ohio he has never mentioned by name. You think about the way he looked at it last night, the specific privacy of that moment. A man alone with the most important thing he owns in the middle of 60 other men. You don't know why you are thinking about this right now. Your brain is going somewhere you didn't send it. The order comes to move. You go over the wall, and your boots hit the ground on the other side, and everything on this side is different. The air, the light, the way time moves. You are running, and you are aware of the men around you running, and your body is doing what it was trained to do without asking your mind for permission. You hit the ground behind a ridge of wet sand and press yourself into it, and you are breathing so hard you can feel your pulse in your face. The man beside you is someone you don't recognize. You look at him, and he looks at you, and you both look back at the seawall and count the men coming over it. Eddie is not among them. You watch the wall. Men keep coming. You keep watching. The noise is continuous, and the light is wrong, and the beach behind you is not the beach you ran across 30 seconds ago. It looks like something else now, something you do not have a word for. You watch the wall, and you count, and Eddie is not among them. You turn back to face forward. The order comes again, and you get up. The ground ahead is open. The man beside you moves, and you move with him. And the man beside him moves, and you are all moving, and the beach is behind you now, and the photograph is still in Eddie's chest pocket somewhere back there on the wet sand. And somewhere in Ohio, a girl is living her Tuesday morning, and she does not know yet. You move forward. You do not think about it. You move.